For years, psychologists and therapists alike have always wondered what was wrong with me, and the only thing I wondered was if Bill Clinton can beat Fallout 4 with only a rolling pin. So let me start off with some ground rules. I can only use a rolling pin to attack enemies. If it is not a rolling pin, then I will not use it. It's as simple as that. Power armor is okay because the rolling pin is one of the most useless weapons, and at times I can get a little overwhelmed by larger groups. So here's where it all went wrong. I thought rolling pin only was going to be too easy, so I made my skills the opposite of what you should have for a melee style challenge. Strength 4, Perception 1, Endurance 1, Charisma 6, Intelligence 7, Agility 1, and Luck 8. Met my wife at the vault, and she was carrying a baby that was a different skin color than me. Stepped inside the vault for the Walt Disney experience. My wife found out the hard way what they do to parents who don't stop their kid from crying on planes. Now, since this is a rolling pin only challenge, I will be avoiding all the rad roaches in the vault because unfortunately there are no rolling pins here. And since I am actively being hunted down by rad roaches, I cannot pick up the Pip-Boy, so I have to sit here and wait. Made it out of the vault, and before I get a rolling pin, the first step I have to do is go to Sanctuary and grab another skill point. Made my way back to Sanctuary and narrowly avoided Codsworth. Made another bad decision and put a point into Charisma instead of Strength or Agility. Now this is the first time I had to rethink my life's choices that led me to this exact moment. I got completely raw-dogged by a random Mr. Gutsy, and completely forgot to save at any moment after I left the vault, so I had to restart. And I made it to the Sandy Coves I, I don't, this is where the fucking rolling pin is. Took too long to find the saving grace we call a rolling pin, and a synth snuck up behind me and took advantage of Bill's slim, thick figure. Went in the second time, but this time I wasted no time, and I knew exactly where I was going, so I grabbed the rolling pin, a couple aluminum cans, and got the fuck out of there. I walked in on a couple skeletons practicing safe sex. I thought if I could just run past all the raiders in the Museum of Freedom, I could just skip all the killing, but turns out you have to kill all of them because of course you do. So, I just sat there and took the dick appointment like a man. Realized there was no way around getting gangbanged by the goon squad, so I jumped onto the roof to grab the power armor, and dicked down every raider until my 6-hour Viagra boner went away. Finally met up with Barack, and I told him I would take care of his raider problem. Ran into the back to wake up the Deathclaw, and then immediately ran away faster than when I was a kid and my dad came home drunk. Tried to lure the Deathclaw so that way he can kill the guy that was below me, but turns out Deathclaws can jump. Got tired of waiting, so I sent the Deathclaw to meet Jeffrey Epstein. On my way to Diamond City, I overheard a raider crying like a bitch because his friend died, so I reunited them. Aw, how cute. They can be buried next to each other now. Made my way into Diamond City and avoided talking to Piper because she is useless to me. Talked to Ellie and told me I had to pick up Nick from daycare, and I told that bitch she's gotta pay up because I'm done taking care of kids that aren't mine. Found a plane where I can steal from the dead people who voted against me, and found a clean black suit that does absolutely nothing to protect me, but if I didn't wear it, then who would realize that I'm Bill Clinton? And now, I can finally be the full Bill my parents always dreamed of me of being. Oh yeah, and save Nick. Ran shaft first into Dino and found out quickly he doesn't use lotion and left blisters on my foreskin. Thought things would be different if he got to know me first, but he greeted me by pegging me without my consent. This time I flipped the script. I showed him that Bill is the guy that does the fucking, and I promptly slapped his face with my shaft so hard he thought I was his uncle that one night before Thanksgiving when he would babysit him as a kid. Picked up Nick from his play date and told him that we need to get the fuck out of here, and he also has to do the rest of the work from here. Brought Nick back home and he told me where I could find the cereal factory. Somebody left a trail of Apple Jacks for Dog Meat to follow. Made it to Fort Hagen and told Dog Meat his services were no longer needed. Tried to sneak up and kill a turret, but turns out it was a Pat Choate supporter and forced me on my knees and gave me a mouthful of Choate. Dog Meat's dumbass followed me because he wanted a mouthful of Choate too. I wasn't taking any chances with this Kellogg fight, so like in real life, I took all the drugs I had at my disposal, prayed to God I didn't overdose, and fight the invisible man in my head while others try attacking me. For some reason I don't remember, I took off all of my clothes and just started looking at how ripped Bill Clinton actually is. Found Virgil hiding in a cave and he asked me to retrieve a Corsair chip. Alright, so this fight wasn't really that hard, it was just kind of annoying, because for one, the rolling pin only seems to tickle the Corsair's asshole. For two, this motherfucker blocked almost all of my attacks, and every time I seemed to knock his health down below halfway, he would take a stim pack and fucking heal himself, as if the little bitch is afraid of something. As if, like, he's a robot, he shouldn't need stim packs. They should just have no fear for their livelihood, and just succumb to me sodomizing him with my rolling pin. I built a teleporter to take me back to the White House. Killed my son before he had a chance to show me his dick was bigger than mine. And I guess since I never gave my son a chance to even talk to me, the synths didn't even realize that he was dead, and didn't even bother attacking me, so I was just able to walk right out of there. Decided to team up with Preston and the Minutemen, and I was told I'd do a bunch of missions for the settlers before I can progress any further. Tried to clear out the castle, but turns out Mirelurks are immune to blunt force trauma, so I had to lure them to the little shop outside and kill them one by one. Found out the Mirelurk Queen is a cold-hearted bitch that sends her children to fight her battles for her. Took her out the same way my father ends arguments with my mom. Built shitty defenses around the castle to prepare for the synths. Shortly realized that the only health items I had were 2 stim packs and 40 pocket tomatoes, so I built a bunker within the castle where I will hide and let the Minutemen go to war for me. Decided to go to Diamond City so I can get healed up. I figured that the Minutemen were busy without me, so they would be fine if I were gone for a little bit. Came back to the castle and dealt the final blows on the coursers that were left standing. Snuck into the sewer system that leads into the White House so I can take it down from the inside. Turned on the evacuation protocol, but it couldn't save them from Bill's girth. Ran like hell to put my ice cream back in the freezer before it melts, and got transported to the roof of some building, where I pushed the detonator and beat Fallout 4 with only a rolling pin. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe, and if you didn't like it, then why did you make it this far?